Hello and welcome to Around the Clock. As we kick off our 10th season of Around the Clock, we are bringing back one of our very first interviews. We have Patricia O'Neil with us. 10 years ago, she had just won The Hero with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And I looked at that interview from 10 years ago, and first of all, thank you for coming back to Around the Clock.
Please, thank you for
And
inviting me.
I know that you took what you did there and have parlayed it into a lot of different things. So first of all, 10 years. Can you believe it's been that long since you did the show?
Just like that. Cannot believe it.
Do you remember how you felt after winning?
Oh, the elation was unbelievable. The joy, the gratitude. We were on a high, the whole family, for at least a year after that. I mean, there were so many changes that happened to me as a woman and as an older woman that it just, every day was joyous. It was so much fun. It still is. It really is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you took that, and when I went back and looked at the interview, there was a couple things. You were getting ready, and you were hoping to get a number to run Boston in 2014.
And I did.
Did you run in 2014?
I did.
And how did that go?
So I was one of the last people to cross the finish line with an official time. So I was super slow.
Okay.
But I did earn my medal. I did do the run. It was as thrilling as winning The Hero. It was so wonderful. Well, it was 2014, a year after the horrible bombings of 2013.
Right.
So I really, going for that run, I was running for a cause. I was angry still. I was motivated. I was doing it for the city of Boston. It felt good. I felt like I was doing my part.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. I've run a 5K, and I was never a runner. Well, that was a number of years ago. I've never been a runner, but I think people who run it are amazing, especially when you run it for charity. So
yes.
Any interest in running again? Or?
I can't run. I have thrown my back out. It actually happened during the marathon. So I see a wonderful chiropractor every every other month.
So no more running for you.
No more running, but I am an avid walker. So every day, 3 miles.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Good for you. The other thing you had talked about was you would have loved to have done Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
Did that happen?
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. Oh, okay.
But it still could.
Okay.
So I'd like to think maybe I'll do something that attracts their attention and they may want to bring me.
Because the other thing is you've taken that win on The Hero and you are now acting. You've done movies, you've done TV shows. How did that happen? I mean, that's just amazing.
It was unbelievable. So Boston Casting, which is a large casting company here in Boston, was originally the casting company that sent out the Hero notification that they were looking to hire a Boston woman.
Okay.
So because of them and because of the winning on the show, they had my name. They had my picture with Dwayne. So they would send me casting notifications. They were doing a worldwide search for Aunt Jen for the movie Stronger, starring Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yep.
They were bringing in actresses from New York, from LA.
Yeah.
The director, David Gordon Green, just wasn't getting what he was looking for. They were looking for a heavy Boston accent, a tough, unfortunately stereotypical woman from Boston. So they remembered me from the show. Wow. They sent me the audition, the script. I actually auditioned on a Monday, and on a Tuesday I had a call back with Jake Gyllenhaal and David Gordon Green, and I will say it was unbelievable to be in an audition room without knowing that either one of them were going to be there to watch the performance. I was off book, so I had memorized the script. And it was so exciting to have Jake interacting and saying, that was really great. And then to have David asking me what I thought about the character or what I wanted to bring into it. It changed, that definitely changed my life. Wow. That was a life-changing moment.
And when was that? How soon after the show?
So that's 3 years after The Hero. So between The Hero and that point, I think I had done background on a couple of German films.
Oh, okay.
But nothing even close to that. I was trying to get into how to audition for films in Boston, but I was not successful until that moment.
Wow.
And now I'm happy to say I have mastered that and happy to help anyone who wants to audition.
And have you done anything since then?
Oh, yes.
Okay, what else have you done?
I've done so many films. Honest Thief with Liam Neeson. I play Robert Patrick. He's the Silver Terminator from Terminator 2. Everyone knows him as that. I play his wife in the film. Equalizer 2 with Denzel Washington.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'm in the Blu-ray version. I play Faith the waitress. I'm one of the Uber passengers crying. It depends on which one you see.
It's funny you say that because we've just rewatched the Equalizer movies because we then went to see it in the movies.
Yep.
So we went to see 3 in the movies.
So the theater, I don't think I'm in that one. I'm in the Blu-ray cut.
Okay.
And that happens all the time in film. So you
cuts
film and you just hope to that ending edit that you make the picture. But even if you don't, it's still wonderful to have getting to film.
What was he like to work with?
So this is the best story, and I'm so embarrassed to tell it. Denzel, all day long, he was filming just the people in the Uber scenes. And because my scene consisted of rain, I was one of the last people to film that day. Because they have to set up a green screen like this. That makes it look like raining. And this is all done in the New England studios out in Fort Devens, Massachusetts. I get on set, and in the Scully cap, I'm all excited. I'm about to film. It's just Denzel and I look at the guy, and he goes, "You look disappointed, right?" I'm like, he goes, "I'm not Denzel." I'm like, "I know you're not Denzel." He goes, "Denzel doesn't work after 8 p.m. And I think this was around 11:30. So I had to film my scene with this double. So I never got to meet Denzel. But I met Antoine Fuqua. He was the director. And I will say, I had mad actress crush on Antoine Fuqua. He was so wonderful. And he had the whole crew give me this lovely round of applause at the end of my performance, which was really nice.
Nice. Now, I would say, is there anything in the works, but there's no work being done. Talk to us, how are you being impacted and other people you know by this whole strike?
The strike is very disappointing. First of all, I give a lot of support to my fellow strikers, the Writers Guild, because without them, there are no actors.
Right.
So both guilds have to find an amenable solution together, or it's never going to be a fluid acting community again.
Right.
The productions here in Boston have stopped.
Right.
There are none. Other than some indie films are getting permission by the union to go ahead and film. For me personally, I haven't had an audition since June.
Wow.
Which is very disappointing because, to be honest, the auditions would probably be about 4 to 5 weekly.
Oh my goodness.
Because everything's self-taped since COVID. So you can actually audition for here, for New York, for LA. I mean, it's really opened up the pool of how to audition. But unfortunately, too, it's also opened up all the competition for auditioning.
Right. How did COVID hit you?
COVID was horrible for actors because for a long time, you would have to, before you'd go on set, you'd have to take a COVID test 48 hours before set. When you get on set, another COVID test. Then you were isolated. Then you were masked. We lost the camaraderie.
Did you do some filming during COVID?
Yes. Yeah. I filmed for George Clooney. This is a great story. Yeah, so The Tender Bar, I think that's on Amazon Prime right now. I had auditioned. I got a background role towards the end of that film. And it was unbelievable to work with George Clooney because he was cooler than I had ever expected. Unfortunately, we were all masked. We were isolated. So he was a lovely man. He joked with us, but we couldn't really hang out with him like we would normally on a set during the downtime, during the set rework and all that.
So strike is going on. What do you hope will happen for you after the strike? What would be?
Love that.
I guess the question is, what are you looking for? What would be your ideal role?
Ideal role was coming to Boston this fall. And I apologize. The working title, I can't remember the name of the film.
Okay.
However, they are looking specifically for female Boston mother types. With the accent, so of course I would be heavy with the mother types. And the Wicked in Boston and all that stuff. But that role, I was written for, and I am hoping that I get to either play Joey's mom. I can remember the character, and I think I had auditioned for that. I want to say April, and then back again in June. But now we were told that the production's delayed, and now I don't even think it's coming this fall.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that would be ideal, is to get a principal speaking role in a film. filming here in Boston so that I can keep my day job and also...
And what's your day job?
I work for TJX.
Oh.
Fantastic company.
Very nice.
Thank you so
okay.
much.
Because you've done a couple different things. When we interviewed you 10 years ago,
working for Richard Francis.
You were working for Richard Francis.
Yeah.
And then I think you did somewhere along the line some real estate.
Yes. I was a realtor for 30 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I remember you were in some local community theater a couple years ago with Joe White at Ashland Community Theater.
#1 director. And Joe White, I think he just got nominated for a couple of awards.
Yeah, some of his short films have been for a couple things.
Terrific person to work for.
Nice.
I've since gone on to do some acting on stage.
Oh, cool.
At the Wilbur in Boston. So that's been my last 2 big productions.
What did you do at the Wilbur?
So Casey Sherman and Dave Wedge, they are authors. Casey's known for writing Disney's The Finest Hours, starring Chris Pine and Casey Affleck.
Yep.
He wrote Hunting Whitey, which is a book about hunting Whitey Bulger.
Yeah.
So he brought his podcast to the theater, new experience. The guests sit and listen to the podcast, but it's also acted on stage, the different scenes that they're reading about.
Oh,
so
cool.
Neil McDonough, who is famous for Tombstone, Band of Brothers, he played Whitey Bulger, and I play Noreen Gleason, the FBI agent who is responsible for bringing Whitey to justice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I did his Sinners and Saints, same role, and then Hunting Whitey. And Casey's hoping to bring this production over to London, New York, as a podcast.
And will you be going with him if he does it in person?
I will knock on wood. But they may replace me with an actress that might be more of a headliner. But let's hope that this gets my name out there.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
So you said that your family was your support?
Yeah.
How's your family doing?
They're so nice to ask. Thank you. I'm still madly in love with my husband, Bob.
Nice. How long have you been married?
34 years.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
Our oldest son is getting married. He got engaged recently.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Alex is moving out at the end of this month, which will break my heart, but it's time for him to
And how old are your kids?
Connor's 30, Alex is 28, and Madeline is a nurse at Beth Israel Hospital. Yeah, so they're all doing really well. Thank you for asking.
Oh, you're welcome. You're
appreciate
welcome.
that.
Yeah, it's amazing. I look at what my kids were doing, and what I think about 10 years later, where my kids were and where we are now, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Now, I'm a Facebook stalker, so that's how I knew. You're always at a show in New York. Your girls are dancers, which I know.
Yeah.
And then before we started filming today, you did let me know that one of your daughters wants to be an actress, which I'm so enamored with.
Yeah, so my older daughter actually did stuff here in Ashland in high school,
That's awesome.
and then went to Emerson, and living the life in New York. Actually, both my girls live in New York, and they love it. And I'll admit I'm a proud mom. They're both doing very well. So it's one of those things. I'm sure you know this as a mom. If your kids are out there doing what they love, then you've done your job.
Absolutely.
And that's the important thing.
Totally.
So.
I love that you get to enjoy that with them. Just from watching it on Facebook.
Oh yeah, it's so much fun. When we go down to New York, we always try to see a show, and of course, my husband and I do local theater and stuff, so we love to support it. We're backstage versus this is my only on camera on stage thing, but it's fun.
That's
this is my creative thing.
I love that.
Anyway, thank you so much for coming back, Patricia. So one last thing. So when you were on 10 years ago, I guess I didn't realize I had started this with that first interview with you, is I asked the question, was there something about you that not many people knew that you were willing to share? And at that point, you told us that your mom was half Asian.
Yes.
And you were very blonde at the time.
Yes.
So is there something else about you that not many people would know that you'd like to share with our viewing audience for this interview?
I love that. The best is yet to come.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing to think of.
Thank you.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Patricia, for coming back.
I appreciate it.
Good luck, and if you ever make it big, don't forget about us back here, because we'd love to share your story.
Is always going to be my home. So thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
And that wraps up this segment with Patricia ONeil, who has come back after one of our first interviews 10 years ago here on Around the Clock.